Can you become an interior designer without going back to college for a degree? This is a question I get quite often, especially from people who want to switch careers but don't want to spend another 3 or 4 years studying again. The short answer is yes, but the real answer is a little more complex. So let's talk about it. Before we get into it, a little bit about my background. Interior design is a part of my family business, but interestingly, I never formally studied design myself. My background was actually in finance. Our work involves interior design, furniture manufacturing, and execution. So most of what I've learned has come from being on sites, visiting factories, talking to craftsmen, and slowly understanding how things are actually built. And I still remember my first few site visits where I realized something very quickly. Design on paper and design on site are two very different things. So, the main question, can you become an interior designer without a degree? Technically, yes, but it depends on two things, where you live and what kind of work you want to do. Different countries obviously have different regulations. For example, in some places, large commercial projects may require licensed professionals or certain qualifications. But for residential interiors, the field is often much more open. Take India as an example. There is currently no mandatory license required to work as an interior designer, whether it's residential or commercial work. So many designers build their careers through experience, learning, and portfolio work. However, on larger projects, you will often see a licensed architect involved because architects in India do need to be registered with the Council of Architecture. So even if you don't personally need a license as an interior designer, you can often collaborate with professionals who do. The important thing is simply to check the rules in your country or region before starting. The first step is understanding that interior design is a very broad field. It's not just one career. You could be working on homes, offices, restaurants, hotels, furniture design, styling, or even set design. Each of these areas requires slightly different skills. The first thing you should do is figure out which direction actually interests you the most. Once you know that, you can focus your learning much more effectively. Step 2 is learning the real skills. A lot of people think interior design is simply about making spaces look more beautiful, but in reality, it's about how spaces function, flow, and feel. You need to understand things like space planning, materials, lighting, furniture proportions, and how different elements work together in a real environment. The good news is that today there are many ways to learn these skills. Online courses, short programs, YouTube, AI, workshops, and most importantly, hands-on experience. At the end of the day, in this field, your skills matter far more than just a certificate. Step 3 is building a portfolio. Your portfolio is one of the most important things in interior design. It shows people how you think and what you can create. And when you're just starting out, you don't need large luxury projects. You can literally just redesign a room in your own home, create conceptual layouts, design furniture pieces, or even help a friend improve their space. Small projects are often where designers actually learn the most. And over time, these projects slowly become your portfolio. The next step is getting the real world experience. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in this industry is that real learning actually happens on site, and there are no two ways about it. Seeing how a design actually gets executed, understanding how materials behave in real conditions, working with the labor, the carpenters, electricians, and contractors, that's where design stops being theoretical and becomes practical. You can get this experience by working with a designer, doing internships, assisting on projects, or even starting small projects yourself. One honest thing I want to say though is that not having a degree means you have to push yourself a little harder, just like I did. A formal education gives you structure, but without that structure, you have to build it yourself. You have to stay curious, you have to keep learning, you have to expose yourself to real projects, but it is absolutely possible. So yes, in 2026, you can become an interior designer without a degree. What will matter the most is the skills that you develop, the portfolio that you build, and how well you understand spaces in real life. Because in this field, your work speaks louder than your qualifications. So if you're considering moving into interior design, I hope this video gives you some clarity, and we would love to hear more from you in the comment section. Thanks, and stay tuned for more.